What's up, everyone? This is DyanaRozay. Welcome to my channel. You saw the thumbnail. You know exactly why you're here, okay? I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. And last night, Martel Holt was popping, okay? All hail the queen to Queen Sheba because she did an amazing job. You guys, I want to bring you guys some commentary first. And then later tonight, we can go live and have a panel discussion about it. But it was an amazing interview. And Martel, wow. I know that people have said repeatedly that Melody, you know, people get divorced or people cheat on people every day. People get divorced every day. This isn't the first person to get divorced. But honestly, after watching that, it was pretty evident to me, this is my opinion, that it's Martel who's still stuck in that relationship. He is very much stuck from when he was inside the relationship, not past the divorce. He's stuck in the relationship and he doesn't know how to get out of it. Okay. And getting out of it would mean that he would have to be honest with himself. And in the 3 years that they have been, you know, parted ways, I think she said, Melody said that they have been split since 2019. But in those 3 years, you can tell there's been no self-reflection. There's been no honesty for himself. There's been no accountability for himself. And that is odd to me. That is odd to me. But I want to get into it, give you guys, because these thoughts are running in my mind. I also wrote some notes. So I'm going to be looking at my phone a little bit while we talk about this, okay? But I want y'all to, you know, share your thoughts in the comment section and let me know what y'all think about all of it, okay? But straight up, right off the bat, I mean, within the first 12 to 15 minutes, I'll say, Martel came on. He's skin clear. You can tell he's been drinking his water. He had his shea butter on, okay? Teeth pearly white. Made sure he kept a smile from ear to ear on his face. He spoke very measured and slow and soft. He was trying to win Sheba over. He was trying to win that audience over, okay? Because he knew that coming onto that channel was going to break the internet, and that's exactly what he was looking for. He came on saying, Melody said some things that I didn't agree with, and I wanted to come on your channel and clear it up. I wanted to defend myself. And then after saying that sentence, he says something completely different, which was, it is very important for me to keep a positive relationship or interaction with Melody because that's where we are right now. And then he even looks in the camera and says, Melody, you know what I'm going to say is true. You know what I'm going to say is true. Don't be mad, Melody. Don't be mad. What are you doing? What am I missing? What am I missing? I'm serious, guys. What am I missing? You're gonna have to go over and watch it if you didn't. But he does this song and dance where he's like, I know, Melody, if you're watching, I don't want you to be mad at me. I'm just saying what's true. And then basically contradicting himself every sentence after that. I don't want Melody to go online and talk about her children's father. I want her not to use me for profit. We should be better than that. I don't want her to use social media to gossip about me. Pick up the phone and call me if I've done something wrong. You just said you came onto this channel to correct things that you thought Melody did wrong. Why didn't you pick up the phone and call her if you have this good relationship and interaction with her right now? Why wouldn't you do what you are preaching for her to do right now? Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. After saying that, he said, it is much more important for me to maintain a relationship with my baby's mother, with Melody, excuse me, I shouldn't call her baby's mother, with my ex-wife, Melody, than it is for me to prove her wrong. Yet the whole reason while you are sitting on this platform in front of thousands right now is to do just that, to prove her wrong. So after saying all of that, it was very apparent at this point that this was a situation of him wanting to win like he's done in every other situation. And when I say that he hasn't moved past anything, it's because seriously, when Martel opens his mouth, it's because he is looking to win at all cost, whether it's a lie or not. We saw that proven with what Carson had came out with, right? This is a tape between you and your ex-wife, but you're going to pretend like it's someone else in order to put her in a bad light, in order to prove her wrong, that you, because you want everybody to believe that you weren't the only one cheating in the relationship, except that you have gotten caught and you have a son now to, you know, bring that whole entire situation has come to light with a baby boy, okay? But instead of you just manning up, because that's really what it is, and maybe even manning up is the wrong thing to say, just be an adult about it and say, listen, if I've done something wrong, and not even if, I apologize for. That is an easy thing to do. I apologize for this because you see me in a different light. And not only do you see it, but the public sees it. My children see it. And now that that information is out there, your kids have access to it, whether you like it or not, whether they have access to the internet right now in this season, or whether they have access to the internet when they're 18 or 20, whenever that comes about. This is still the footprint that stays around. So you need to make that apology and you need to prove yourself in that manner and stop trying to prove Melody wrong or make something she's doing wrong. Prove yourself to be the person you claim you are as a man and as a father. That's easier than proving Melody wrong at this point because you're not winning at that. You're not winning at that. But anyway, you guys, sorry, I'm looking at some more notes. Now, we've all heard the cast, and I want to say this too, because one of the reasons why people is all up in arms with this cast, Carlos King and Carlos, okay, is because we keep hearing from you guys that men and the women, and you've gotten people from RHOA to say it. Sheree and what's her name? Sanya. Martel's a good guy. He's a good father. He's a perfect gentleman. All of these things, right? And then the episode with Sheree, that's how it closes. Excuse me, I'm sorry. He did the same thing with Sheba, by the way. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. You know that I'm the perfect gentleman. See how you mess up? Because your past keeps coming back for you in ways that you didn't expect it. Every time you want to take 10 steps forward, your past comes back, bites you in the butt, and sends you 50 steps or 100 steps backward. And if you just owned it in the beginning and apologized, you would not even apologize, just be sincere at the very minimum. Be sincere about what the hell you did. Be honest and sincere about what the hell you did and how to fix it. What are you going to do now to be a different person? But you lack where that is concerned. You lack every single time. But the reason why people are so upset with the cast, why these things keep happening in the weird way that they're happening, is because people don't believe that the cast is holding you accountable. And they also believe that they take pleasure in the mess and the BS that you do to her. And you allow others to do to her because you are the ringleader in this entire thing, whether you want to believe it or not, but you prove that. You admitted to that in the interview. Martel admits to this, you guys, in the interview. Okay, so now that all of this is played out, there is no possible way in hell that all of you haven't seen it. You have to speak with a different tongue now. And I'm curious as to how that's going to play out. Martel says that they are filming right now the second half of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So, I mean, if people end up watching it, well, we don't know. But as of right now, this is still playing out before our very eyes. But Martel in this interview had an opportunity to just be Martel. He didn't have to prove anything other than who he is as a man, as a father, as an ex-husband, as a boyfriend, if he wanted to prove that, but he denied being in a relationship with anyone. That was his opportunity to do that. And he was in a setting in his home. He wasn't, being pressured. It didn't feel that way, even though he did have an earpiece in his ear, and you could tell that he was looking at his phone. Maybe people were trying to maybe people were trying to coach him when they saw that things were going off the rails. I'm not sure why they didn't just tell him in the interview. At some point, he says, very early on though, he said something like, I only have about 20 minutes. And then he ended up staying at like an hour and some change after that, because it was really important for him to prove himself right. And he was failing every time he answered the question. Even though he was given every opportunity, just be honest. If I said something wrong, you please correct me. The chances are I could be wrong. He just couldn't do it because she was right. Basically, she was right in what she was asking, and you were wrong with how you were answering it. Just if you would have just been honest from the giddy up. The problem is you didn't know how to take accountability for it, because you can easily say when someone asks you a question, was this the worst of your behavior? Yes, I absolutely did that. And I apologize for doing that. And honestly, I don't recognize the person that did that, because that's not how I was raised. That's blah, blah. Everybody falls short, but that's not what you want to say. You want to start with, everyone falls short. Everyone falls short. And it took two to do something wrong in that relationship. I wasn't the only one. I didn't just blow up my entire life by myself. Now that you did do. That you did do. Okay? Period. Because you still haven't been able to share what exactly was done to you that made you blow up your entire life by yourself. You wasn't able to do that. You're never able to say, hey, Melody, even when you try, Melody did this. It never sticks. It never lands. So anyways, y'all, he kept up, right? He kept doing what he was doing. Excuse me. I need to make sure I'm staying on time here. Kept doing what he was doing. 3 years later, still no accountability. Even though these questions keep coming up, still no accountability. Now we got new claims out there that you're still not able to answer to, even though you knew when you came onto this platform that was something you should have been, at least at the minimum prepared to answer, and you weren't. He brought, I guess, sent over 4 pieces of paper from court documents that's already all over the internet to prove himself right. Because again, he needs to win. He needs to prove himself right. This is where Melody was wrong 4 times. And when he was debated on that, like, well, I don't see where she was wrong. I see where you were sanctioned. I see where you asked for alimony and child support. She accused me of, CA. Well, it does say here that it did come from not Melody, but the actual person it happened to. Oh, you talking about something else. So now you're admitting that it happened multiple times, sir? See how you're sinking down this damn hole deep into the dark abyss? Why not just answer the first question and let it be? Oh, child. But again, it kept going. It kept going. He kept saying, I'm an open book, even though he would not answer the questions directly. I'm an open book. You can ask me anything. I'm an open book. And then when he realizes that he's not winning, he does what he always do. He pulls out a secret weapon, Ariane. He was asked if what was his feelings around Ariane communicating to Carson and letting her know about the tape, and also what you said, because there's things that people say to their partners every day. Every day. The fact that that girl called someone she only knew for a short time to say, I need some help with this. I am like torn. He's so angry at me that I want to make him better. And in order to do that, but I know that this is wrong to do. Could you please let me know if I'm being, should I do it? Am I being stupid? She needed to be talked off a ledge that you put her ass on. Okay. About this tape, which is frightening, okay? But you do that, and then when you're asked, did you hold her accountable for having this conversation? You said, no, I didn't have that conversation. The people that's responsible for you guys even knowing about it is Melody and Carson, and those two got together and plotted against me to tell this story, even though the story is true, because this is what he's saying. Melody and I already discussed it last year with our attorneys and in court. So You've already talked about it. And so now it's never supposed to be discussed again, even though you have no power to stop it from being discussed, right? Because this person that I guess you weren't expecting to, she definitely said it. So who else did you guys say it to that could hold this over you? All you're asking for is that anytime these things happen, that Melody never talks about it on social media. That is insane, Martel. When she says that she is in spiritual warfare, mental warfare, physical, emotional warfare, this is what she's talking about. It's ping-ponging at her like a tennis ball every single day because she really doesn't know what's coming for her. And your thing is, if you would have just called me, I could have convinced you with my lie that never happened. But instead, you're taking it to places where other people can tack things on it, and make me guilty, even though you are guilty, is what it sounds like you're saying. It's a whole thing, y'all. And I'm not even making it up. If I sound confusing in how I said it, it's because that's how confusing it was. I just don't want you to talk about it ever. Think before you speak. And he's using the kids as as the weight. Speak. Think before you speak about your children's father. Why would the children's father do that to their mother is the better question. Why would you do that to their mother? But anyways, y'all, he continues after he basically says, I have no problem with Ariane having that conversation. I have a problem with Carson doing it. And furthermore, you'll never be on my show. You'll never be on my show, but he's screaming it at the phone. You'll never be on my show. What? That's wild. What are you saying now? She was on the show, first off. Okay, so you're a little late with that. She's already told Melody what she needed to tell her. So you're late with stopping that conversation too, sir. Furthermore, why is it your show now? I think at some point you was like, I took Melody to church because you want people to see you as this good guy. I took Melody to church. And on top of taking Melody to church, you encouraged her to be in the church choir. What else did he say? He encouraged her to be on TV because that was her thing. I didn't want to be on TV. You don't want to be on TV, but now you're telling Carson she's not allowed on your show. You'll never be on my show. But you know who should be on the show? Ariane. Now this is him again weaponizing Ariane against Melody. Ariane should be on the show because every single season they've talked about her. Are you sure they talked about her, or did they talk about your infidelity? Your infidelity affected Melody as well. You realize that, right? Again, she's not allowed to talk about it. That affected her. That tore her whole family as she knew it, both the inside her house and outside of her house, completely down because of this. That is crazy, Martel, that you still haven't come to grips with that part. But you think that bringing Ariane onto the show is going to hurt Melody more than anything, because what could Ariane possibly bring to this damn show except more hurt to you? But you're willing to suffer in your hurt to let Melody suffer. Now, mind you, if Melody was to bring a man that she is currently dating onto that show, you would tear the whole set down. That's my opinion, by the way. Just based on some of the things that he has said, just based on some of the activities he's done, Martel seems like the type of guy that would tear that whole set down if Melody brought someone on right now, let alone someone that she met just today, let alone bring on a man that helped tear her marriage down. You think it's a wise idea to bring on a woman that helped tear your entire marriage to the ground onto the show so that she can have a conversation that goes against the ex-wife you just said you wanted to keep a good relationship with. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. It was really shocking that he allowed himself to go there. It was shocking that PR didn't ask him to please hang up. Please tell her you got to go. Please tell her you have an emergency. But he kept going, child. He kept going. Okay. What else happened? He said, I think I talked to you guys all about that too. At some point, she's also asked, because again, he says that he wants to be a good father, right? I want to be a good father. He said that I think he was asked if he would marry. Why didn't he marry Ariane or something like that? And then he started giving Ariane all of these good qualities. Well, she's a good mother. And, you know, yeah, I'm not going to do that, but she's a good mother and she's very smart. That was another thing that I found disturbing, because anybody who's listened to Ariane talk or listened to you talk know that Melody's smarter than the two of you together. So you're saying that like you did on that reunion stage when you said, well, she went to the same school that you did, or went to the same school you did. She graduated from the same school you did. That again was you trying to attack, and you lost. Because again, people who watch the show, who do pay attention to some of this outside noise that's been going down, they definitely know that you were never adequate enough for Melody. The two of you did a whole hell of a lot to bring her down. And you, sir, you in particular, were never an adequate match for Melody. And she loved you anyway. She loved you anyway. Another thing that was shocking for me is I think he was asked about being married again and what he missed or something like that. And he said that he missed feeling protected in his relationship. He wants to get married again because he liked the idea of having two parents. But the way he said it was, he said it like, I miss Melody and I being parents, as opposed to, I'm looking for a wife who could help be the mom my children deserves in their life, who can love my children as their own. Because you're saying that you're going to get married at the end of the year is also irresponsible. It's irresponsible to the kids. You're saying that out loud. Is irresponsible, in my opinion, to your children who are still trying to heal, very much heal like you are trying to heal, because you can't say that you aren't. Very much heal from the divorce the way you're trying to heal, because they've been a part of this crazy for this last 3 years. They've also been a part of it. So you're saying that you're going to get married again, like by the end of the year? That was crazy. That was crazy. Also, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical attack, right? What else happened? He was asked about Belinda, and he definitely said that they were just friends. When asked about the babysitting thing, he flipped the script and said, you know, no, that never happened. It was just for a few minutes or whatever. And she was down the street because I was already there. And yet you pretend to know everything that's going on with Melody when she's outside of your company, when she's outside of your eyesight or vision, right? She doesn't know what you're doing and who her kids are with when she's not around. You didn't call her to ask her about the first rites, but you need to know every second of what she's doing when she's not in Huntsville with the kids. Martel, again, you couldn't write this. You could not make this up. His explanation for it, when asked, the kids didn't spend the night. You know, kids can be very easily manipulated. So if kids can be easily manipulated, and you're suggesting that that's what Melody's doing, again, can't point that finger back at yourself. Wild. Again, I wish I was making this up, you guys, but I wasn't. I cannot wait to talk to you guys on live about that. What else did he say? He also confirmed that he doesn't have a relationship with Sheree. We don't have labels. We just, you know, go bike riding and spend a little time together. So RHOA and Love and Marriage Huntsville has given us fake storylines between you and Sheree, because Sheree sat on Love and Marriage Huntsville on a couch that she had asked you where to sit on, and say to you, you and I have talked about marriage. Now you can't even give this woman a title. You're just friends. someone to pass the time with. You enjoy each other's company. Friends with benefits? Maybe not, because according to Sheree and her GYN, no. Okay. What else was he saying? Just toward the end, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up here and we'll talk about the rest on live. Toward the end, you can tell that he realized that he didn't win. He didn't do what he came there to do. He was having an up and down emotion when he was being asked questions. Like, I don't know if people were talking to him in his earpiece or, you know, on text, and he didn't realize how quickly his demeanor was shifting. But he'd be asking a question, he'd go from no, you know, hostility to looking down like he might be sad to laughing, like throwing his head back laughing. Oh, you're funny. I was like, dude, you just had like 5 different emotions in the same minute. Like, what is happening? That was crazy. And I also like PR, like, is this going to be your training video for anything in the future? He asked to come back. Maybe they asked him, like, could you please let her know that we'd love to come back and resolve some of these other issues because you did so poorly here. But they need to go through this interview and hit point by point by point, question by question by question, and anything else that he did not answer properly, which pretty much was everything, and make sure that he knows what to do and how to do it next time if he gets that opportunity. Because when I first heard him talk and I saw how even and measured he was, I kind of felt, this is my opinion, no one else's, I kind of felt that his back was against the wall and that perhaps the network was basically saying, if you're not able to get in front of this, we're going to have to make some decisions. That's what it felt like to me, because we've never seen Martel in this situation or this light before. And again, and I won't even say we didn't see him in this light. Him asking for an interview to correct things was wild, and his inability to do so was pretty much on par, right? But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I do plan on going live later this evening. I don't know what time. I'll get it posted for you guys though. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments about everything right now. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit your notification bell, and I will check you all on the next one.